Who would like to start us off with the recap?
Things are messed up.
We killed a basilisk.
I don't want to talk about it, guys.
Let's see.
Where to begin?
We killed the basilisk that was freezing Nani.
It
And
wasn't
behind
freezing
him-
me, it was petrifying me, thank you.
You know what I mean. We found a waterway behind him. And
The stairwell led to basically the sewer systems underneath the city of North Hollow, right?
Yeah, and we
Was it
found
city?
Yeah. And we found a filter behind in the filter in one of the waterways. We found something that was dispensing the mushroom spores, the bloodshroom spores. I mean,
It was essentially laced with the black ichor that was affecting the water, and as such has been flowing into the water for an unknown amount of time. No one knows how long it's been there, but
And
apparently it's
so-
been in there long enough to cause some chaos.
yeah, it's The Last of Us now.
Yeah, it's Last of Us.
Yep, a whole town's just a zombie apocalypse now. Thankfully, we were able to meet with some of the prince's guardsmen, who were nice enough to give us a kitted out wagon. Said, "You are our only hope," and kicked us out of town.
For good reason, because it was bad. Zombies had begun to roam everywhere, and judging from how long that's been there, conveniently long enough for us to notice. But with that, travel has begun. We were tasked by the prince, essentially, or just tasked in general by prince. Was it the cart? I don't know. There was a reason. Our job essentially now is to basically identify and stop who exactly is causing these outbreaks to begin to go rampant. Basically find patient zero, chop the head off, and move on.
Mhm.
Move
And of
right
course-
along, dicka-dung.
However,
And nothing
Make
else
sure that
happened.
Everyone else is informed about what's going on.
And nothing else.
we had a sudden event unfold in the middle of our first night, I believe, when we were settling down.
Yeah.
Blue tiefling chick showed up with yellow eyes. She never said what her name was. I guess it's a secret.
Shut up. Stop talking. Shut up.
I'm sitting right next
Uh.
to her, and the grin on her frickin' face right now.
I don't even need to
She's so
see
proud
it.
of
I can
herself.
feel it. Stop grinning. Stop it. You little shit. I know it's been more than a minute. I can slip that through.
Yeah,
But
yeah. I think you've earned that one.
so now we kind of uncovered a truth about Breia, that it turns out Breia's not really who she seems to be.
Is she not a
And-
wizard?
She's not a wizard at all. Matter of fact, she's a liar.
Yeah, it's kind of funny in hindsight how Breia, how you were like, we got that anorexic thing out of you real quick. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Oh yeah, that was another thing that happened. We force-fed Nani. Not very important.
Not an important detail, but important enough that eat your food, be healthy, all of you. Every single one of you watching this, eat your food.
It was so succulent.
But the events that followed were definitely not ones that any of us were expecting, especially upon seeing the God of Liars herself made manifest for Breia. And of course, Perlman making the return as well from a previous campaign to intercept. And now, post all that, everyone is thoroughly confused. Breia has lost an arm, It is also powerless right now. In addition to that,
she lost her fucking class.
crazy. That was like a new record speed run.
Well, at least she still has her
Mhm.
personality.
Yeah. Does she? I don't know about that one.
Probably the one thing she probably shouldn't have kept.
Wow.
Oh man! Ow! +1. Well done.
Ow! Why?
Timmy,
But now we kind of.
Timmy, I think you're sleeping on the couch tonight.
I'm not sleeping. I'm not sleeping at all tonight. It's literally part of my new thing.
Well, I'll fucking make sure of it now. Fuck you.
Oh, it's so funny.
What do you mean your new thing? What, are you sleeping during the day now?
Not important.
No, I have a new shift on Sunday mornings at 5:30.
I go to bed so fucking late. I decided, fuck it. I'm just going to stay up all night on Saturdays now.
Fair enough.
Fair enough. Moving right along.
So now we continue off from where the damage has been dealt. We resume now where tensions are extremely high between some people. Confusions are also extremely high. But hopefully things can be resolved where no one has to die.
Okay, first off, fucking ow! Turning to secret.
Oh no,
Second,
the stabbing was done by me. That was done by me.
I thought it was secret.
I stabbed you to get free.
Oh. So yeah, then that would be directed at Lafayette.
fucking ow! Second, you're a warlock.
I
As
believe I
our
stated that she's unconscious right now, so she can't answer any questions.
Oh,
Yeah.
second off, is she a fucking warlock?
She was a warlock.
That's going to leave some strange legal litigations.
Legal litigations.
Yes, because warlocks are illegal here.
What? Why?
It's... I don't remember exactly their reasoning. It's forbidden magic or some shit.
Forbidden magic, it's literally like a god or something giving you access to magic.
Well, the thing is, the thing that gives you magic could potentially be something dangerous, dark, or otherwise evil.
Lafayette proceeds to motion towards Breia in that instance as he's explaining.
Such
Oh,
as the
you're
god
right.
of lies.
Oh, you're right. Without that patron, everybody uses their magic completely safely and for perfectly good and legal reasons.
Well, I didn't say it completely stopped people using magic for bad reasons. I just said it's their reasoning for it.
Lafayette just stands up and just signs out. They find it taboo to rely on the power of on God specifically, for some reason.
Great.
Though it really depends on what the god is.
I'm glad to hear that. Let us dismantle the church.
Well, the clergymen, like priests and clerics and things, those are fine, because usually it's gods that people like.
Right, let me rephrase as she signs out. The darker gods, let's go with that. Like the one we just saw.
Aren't there like celestial warlocks or something?
At this point, Mishpa has gathered Breia up into her arms and is sidling her back to the far end of the tent and laying her out on one of the cots before she twists her neck around to everyone else. Can you all take this outside? She needs rest.
You still care about her, huh?
Why would I not?
Fair enough. She doesn't have that bitch god inside of her anymore, but Let's hope that her personality gets better in the morning.
You're still in here.
Yes, I am, and now
Get
I'm
out.
leaving. She said ask who put the bee in her panties if she actually wore any.
Lafayette just kind of remains in the tent and just stares very intensely at Breia for a second before her eyes shift up to Mishpa. Just a silent, just sigh escaping her.
Do you have something you want to say?
She thinks about it for a second before looking up at her. She then signs out, "You still care about this one."
I do. She is a companion, part of our clan. She is someone that I must protect. It would be the same with you.
Soft inhale and then a slow exhale. And then she signs out a simple "I see" before she turns to Secret and makes a head motion out of the tent.
She nods.
She'll then turn back to Mishpa. Keep an eye on her then.
I will. Do the same with your ward. I want her nowhere near this tent.
She listens to me. Because she is someone I know dear. I assure you, arrangements can be made to where she doesn't hunt this one. Points to Breia. But
She
right
had better
now,
not.
the sight of a liar sickens. With that, Lafayette leaves.
As you leave, Mishpa turns back to Breia and makes sure that she's laid out comfortably on the cot before she whispers to herself, I know you have your own secrets. Who's to say you aren't a hypocrite?
Okay. Anything anyone wishes to do before the night gives way?
Lafayette is going to gather up a spare tent and some of the extra leftovers. But she is going to leave the camp for the night to go and catch up with Secret.
Secret will
Because
be
right now-
waiting outside the tent for you.
Yep. I'm just, like I said, I'm going to gather a spare tent because Lafayette's going to be leaving the camp for the night, like I said.
Mm-hmm.
She's going to kind of do her own thing with Secret and kind of catch up with a few things.
Yep.
I think when everyone else is out and is going to bed, Mishpa stays up a little later, mostly because she is still worried about Secret being around. Despite what Lafayette says, she is still being a bit on the vigilant side.
Mm-hmm.
And after a while, she kind of looks over at the unconscious Breia and gives a slight half smile. I do not know the depth and breadth of what you have done in your life to earn the ire of this particular person, and I do not fully understand everything that happened in that conversation. Perhaps I'm just too slow for that sort of thing, but I do want you to know that I do not think you are a bad person, and you are rid of whatever was influencing you before. I do believe amends can be made, and I will continue to protect you so that you may do that. We will continue to protect you. And she brushes a hand over the edge of her, the hilt of her blade, before she settles in. This time basically laying most of her lower body over Breia's to make sure that there is a shield over her tonight.
You do hear like a tiny pained grunt, but not much more than that.
Okay.
So yeah, that's my evening.
So is Secret still with us?
No,
No, she and
Lafayette and
have
Secret
left.
are gone right now.
Yeah.
They will be gone the entire night.
So, Thomas, you still on watch duty?
Might as well. I don't really need to sleep.
Fair enough. If Lafayette doesn't come back before the end of your watch, I'll take over. I got plenty of rest during the day before anyways.
Very well.
Which means that I need to get my foot the wings while I can. I never understood what that means. You don't wink while you're sleeping.
I'm not really sure either. I'm pretty sure it comes from some sort of old folk tale or something.
Maybe it's East Honeyfall term.
Perhaps. Again, can't really be sure.
Anyways, you take care. Keep up the good work, making sure that people don't stab us in the neck in our sleep.
Of course.
Okay.
Is everyone liking this keyboard ASMR?
Alright, here. Just to have spite with you. Hang on, let me get my mic real close, and... Fuck you.
Oh.
It's so crunchy. No, please.
Crunchy.
Raunch.
Where the fuck are my chips?
What's hi?
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, here we go.
Yes!
Why?
Yes!
God, why?
Yes! Chaos Incarnate, let's go!
Cheddar Pringles, everybody.
Ooh, cheddar.
I do like cheddar. Cheddar's good. Cheddar.
Just because you're making good choices doesn't mean you have to do that to me.
And
I'm more of a sour cream and onion type of guy, but you know.
Sour cream and onion's good.
Yeah.
There's these like I think I mentioned this before, but like there's these kettle cooked like jalapeno chips, and oh my god, they're so good. They have just enough bite that I like.
And now, next up on our ASMR, honey mustard and onion pretzel bits.
This just turned.
Hey guys,
into- this just
I gotta
turned-
go.
all I have is a fork.
I can't be here for this.
Okay,
Crunch the fork.
we're almost done.
Aw, I was having fun.
Were you able to hear that?
Nope.
Nope.
Wow, I tried. Here, actually,
Your
let me
mic
turn
is
up-
kind.
Let me turn up my gain.
Nope. Anyway,
Nada.
the next.
Oh, come on.
So the next morning comes. You all rise to consciousness, and it is a new day. A new, mild temperature day. About 50 degrees when you wake up. But clear skies.
Ari, do you think Breia would wake up early the next morning at all, or would she continue to sleep?
Breia is currently, like, truly from, like, probably 5 to... What time is it now?
By the time everyone wakes up, it is about 8 a.m.
Okay, cool. So from about 5:30 a.m., Breia is staring at the ceiling, just contemplating how she got here and what what her life choices have led to.
What is the meaning of my life?
How did I get here? Help.
How could this happen to me? I made my mistakes.
Got nowhere to run.
And life goes on.
as I'm fading away.
Breia, are you awake?
I am, yes.
Foolish question, but are you alright?
I suppose, given the circumstances, the answer is closer to yes than no, but no.
Is there anything I can do for you? Food? Water? A pat on the head? You mainlanders like those things, yes?
Perhaps at a different time, though water might do nicely.
She nods and she will slither over to the supplies and get a freshly filled water skin and bring it back to her.
Thank you. So I suppose you've all decided to let me live, then?
Even if they hadn't, I wouldn't let them harm you.
Right. That seems to have caught her, like, a little strangely. Well, very least, I suppose not many people survive circumstances like that. I suppose I should be grateful.
Is that a common occurrence here?
No, but most people who come into contact with gods who have who intend to harm them don't exactly make it out all right. I know what I'm trying to say. I know words.
Well, you have, as you said.
Yes. Well, honestly, given the things I'm about to have to talk about again in however long it takes the others to wake up, honestly, I wonder if being dead mightn't have been better.
I do not think being dead would ever be preferable to being alive, regardless of the circumstances.
Mm. Perhaps I'll come to share that sentiment.
I hope that you do. I don't mean to rush you, but you should try to get up and get ready to go when you can. We don't want to spend too much time waiting around, not with what was happening in North Hollow.
Yes, just give me a few moments.
Of course. I'll go and make sure that everything outside is all right. Make sure that someone is not lurking about anywhere. And she is going to slither out of the tent and start glancing around. Specifically, she is making sure that Secret is nowhere near the campsite.
No, Secret is gone.
Good. It means everyone's safe. Is Lafayette back, or is she still out on her own?
Depends on where you look.
I mean, she goes about looking all over the camp, and she makes it a point to also check, like, above in the trees as well.
Perception check, please.
Okay. 16?
That'll do it. No, well, not inherently around the tent and not around the cart or anything like that. She seems to be a little bit of distance away, but you do catch a familiar color of ash in the distance, kind of perched up in a tree branch, just kind of looking at the sunrise. Hood down, mask down, just kind of staring and minding her own business currently. She seems to be just kind of in a vibe state right now.
Mishpa doesn't say anything right away. She slithers up next to the edge of the tree before glancing up towards you. Good morning.
Side-eye glance down towards you.
Are you going to come and join the rest of us soon?
She'll look up at the sun and then point towards that for a second. Basically just saying, take a moment to enjoy it.
Mishpa cannot see it quite as clearly from the ground, so you hear some rustling down below, and you notice she has curled her body around the tree and is climbing up it like snakes do, because snakes can climb trees.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Especially if they're long enough, it's freaky.
And she will slither her way up to a branch next to yours.
Lafayette will make sure to point to a sturdy branch, because you're big.
She is, yes.
Big.
You can't see anything like this on the island, you know.
So head shake. Now that you're properly closer, her hands begin to shift and come into your view. It's almost therapeutic to see something like this in the morning.
I agree. I feel much more relaxed after a good night's sleep. And I do want to offer an apology if anything I said last night upset you.
She closes her eyes for a second and then leans back. Before her hands slip forward again. Everyone, every single person in this world harbors their secrets. I'm no exception. You are no exception. No one is. Though coming from what I've done, learning that Breia held a lot darker of a secret than I thought, especially learning from it from my own sister, less, has definitely tainted my view of her.
Perhaps my view of it is a bit more simple-minded, but I view this as a good thing. She is in a position now where she can start working to correct whatever mistakes she has made. She would not have had that opportunity had Secret succeeded in her task.
You can actually see a sly smile on Lafayette's face. And then the gaze locks onto you. You really do have a good head on your shoulders, don't you? Don't you?
Get real fucking close when you say that, goddamn.
Fuck you. But
now
yeah.
now it's her turn to be taken aback a little bit, and she does not really seem used to compliments of this nature, but she does smile. If you say so, I will take your word for it.
Lafayette will stare back out to the sun, move an arm to rest upon her knee for a second, before she signs out again. Prince explained why you're here, yes? But do you know how it all started?
She thinks about it for a moment before shaking her head. I do not know.
In time, I will tell you the full story. But understand that this project that we're under right now, well, it was the prince who helped set it in motion. It was my idea to begin with. And my goal is to bring all the innocent people off of that accursed island by any means necessary. But hopefully this method doesn't result in pointless bloodshed.
It seems I owe you a lot more than I initially thought. You have my thanks, and I do look forward to hearing the full story when you wish to tell it.
She'll nod. And then she'll shift her seating position to look down at the tents. Besides, the whole idea is this redemption thing. I say now this one has a chance to actually show the chance for redemption. So while my hot-headed nature almost took her life, I'm thankful you stopped me.
She smiles a bit and reaches over and takes your hand in hers and gives it a squeeze. You say I have a good head on my shoulders. I think you have a very fine heart in your breast. Now come. We should probably get back down and get some breakfast before we leave.
Kind of looks at you for a second. So, climbed up, how do you get down?
She kind of looks down for a moment, looks at you, shrugs her shoulders, and flops off the edge. Tail first. But yeah, she basically just lets herself dangle and sidle down the side and just drop.
I just imagine she drops like a coiled rope.
Yeah,
exactly.
That's how I envision it, actually.
Like freaking Ka from the Jungle Book. Anyway. But yeah. You all wake up, get some breakfast in you. Any other moments you want to have before you get on the road?
Does Nani eat breakfast?
Oh, I'm sure of it.
Yes.
Just staring across from the now put out fireplace, just staring her down.
Every single one of us just staring her down, except for Breia probably, but just every single
Breia's
one
not
of
looking
us,
at any of y'all.
which is valid.
Nani stares right back at everyone as she slowly ingests breakfast.
Even Mr. Burns is staring at you.
Everybody is against Nani right now for this.
Just
Eat your food.
pans along, everybody looking, and then there's just Mr. Burns on a rock, but he's like really close, so he's just like nearly the camera on his eye, just. I'm fucking eating. You don't need to shove it down my throat.
We did last night.
Yeah.
Just a slow head shake.
And by the way, Mr. Burns eats like 2 of your eggs.
That's a good image.
Why just the eggs? You got to think for eggs?
He's a lizard.
Okay.
Lizards usually eat eggs.
Okay, well, next chance I get, I'll give you all the fucking eggs you can eat. Okay, you're adorable, yeah.
Has Breia even touched her food?
No!
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Breia, you better eat something before somebody shoves it down your throat.
Well, that is a very real possibility, isn't it?
I think, honestly, I do think that it's not that she's, like, not eating completely. It's that she seems to be having a very hard time doing so, because she's having to do it offhanded.
Mm-hmm.
So she's just going really slow about it, so that she doesn't... She's basically trying not to embarrass herself.
What happened to her arm, by the way?
It's completely ripped off and frickin' it's gone. It's gone.
Did it, like,
so
disintegrate upon removal?
Gone. Okay. All right.
What was that, Amara?
Did it just, like, disintegrate upon removal?
You don't know what happened to it, but it's nowhere to be found.
It was taken with the tentacles, presumably, when Nithis disappeared.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Okay.
So, I've got the serious question here, guys. How expensive are, like, prosthetic arms?
Oh, very, but you need to remember, the two of us both come from pretty well-off families.
Okay, so does that mean that you can afford a prosthetic arm?
No, but my mother could. But I'd have to go and talk to her first, which means explaining how it happened.
Okay, so where is she?
And since being a warlock is not legal here,
Mm.
it would be a very difficult thing to explain.
Oh, you can just leave out little details. Be like, oh, well, you see, the God of Lies showed up and just ripped my fucking arm off. It happened. You would be telling the truth. You'd be excluding details, but even if they use a zone of truth on you, you're technically telling the truth.
Just a slow blink towards Nani.
My mother's a lot more perceptive than that. I don't think I'd get away with that without being questioned.
Well, she didn't know that you were a warlock until now.
I hope.
Okay, so potentially going through your mom to get a prosthetic arm isn't option number one, it sounds like.
You could always go through my mother.
That's quite a bit of travel compared to where I'm from.
Okay,
Yes, but
here's an
She-
idea.
Hmm?
Well, why don't we get I'm not the best druid around. I'm new to this whole druid thing, but maybe a druid could give you a nature arm, like an arm made of wood that, is connected to your nervous system as well, magically. Where's the nearest druid group? They're
no, actually.
circles.
Well, if we had that kind of information on hand, that would be lovely. But no. If I could
we'd
get
have
back
to-
home, there's someone I could talk to.
Where's your home?
Edina, a couple towns south of here.
Okay, well, if there's druids somewhere along the way there, maybe we could go to them and be like, hey, could you give my friend a new arm? And then they grow you one, like a tree, but on your stump. Tree stump.
Yes, thank you.
Lafayette will sign out. Don't forget the amount of cost that would probably take as well.
What do druids have use for money for?
It's how you get by whenever you travel in society. Money keeps the cycle going.
I
That
have
is-
money. I could help pay for it. And she holds out a little coin purse that has exactly 16 gold pieces in it.
Well, if you happened to have a couple 100 gold, that might help.
Oh.
No, I think I might be able to. I think I have a plan for that. Going to be getting by without it in the meantime, that's going to be the problem.
I don't see why druids would need to go to society. Isn't the whole point of being a druid being one with nature?
Are people not part of nature?
They try their best not to be.
Convenience. Pure convenience of what the towns hold versus what the druids have to look for.
Yeah, fair enough, I suppose.
Though most druids tend to harbor in their ways. And there might even be some druid-specific towns. Don't quite remember from my years of traveling this place, but I'm sure there's something out there.
Well, it's something to keep in mind if we happen to pass by one on the way.
Indeed. But now, question is, what do you intend to do? And her gaze shifts over to Breia as she finishes signing that out.
Well, I'm honestly not sure. I suppose I'll travel with you wherever you go for now. It's not like I really have a choice. If I wandered off on my own, I'd probably die rather quickly.
And how do you feel after everything? That I will have to ask.
You can imagine I've been better.
Parents, but what did you think of everything that unfolded? Do you regret your decisions up until this point? Or do you just regret the fact that you've been caught?
Some part of me knew that this was inevitable at some point. I don't know if I've had time to think about regretting it. I've spent so much time trying not to think about it.
Consequences of your action is a very powerful thing. Trust me, I would know. Especially in my line of work that I used to do. But all mistakes will eventually catch up to you at one point. You will have to face them depending on how you handle them to begin with.
Yes, I suppose so.
And Breia will, like, rifle around in her bag. And, Thomas, you see, a journal like the one that we were handed tossed in your direction. Kind of poorly, because that's obviously her weaker arm, but...
Thomas?
Oh, shit. Sorry.
Wow.
Zoned out. What was going on?
Incredible.
Hey,
Yeah.
it happens to me too. At least he's honest about it.
No, I get it. I've done the same thing. Functionally, Breia was just being told that, you know, at some point you have to have the consequences of your actions, and then a journal like the one that we were handed by the prince is tossed in front of you.
I'm going to grab it. What's this for?
Well, I needed it for something, but since circumstances have changed, I have no reason to have it.
That's right. You lost your writing hand, didn't you?
I can write with my right hand. I'm not good at it, but I can write. You know what? If you're not getting what's happening, I'm not going to tell you.
You want me to look inside the book?
Do you remember, out of character, do you remember if you've written anything in it? Like, in character, not like actually writing notes.
He has written a couple things, but not much.
I mean, do you open it?
Sure.
Yeah, it's yours.
Is this mine?
Yes. Exactly.
Where did you get my book?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Have you been going through my bag?
No, I only went through your bag once to get that because I needed it. But now I don't need it, so you're getting it back.
What did you need it for?
Well, since you're all aware of the thing that was going on, part of my ongoing deal with Enthis involved you.
Oh, so.
Well, it was intended that I frame you for something, but all I really needed was to look at your handwriting long enough to forge it. But, you know, don't really need to do that anymore, so...
I'm just gonna side-eye over at Nani. Is she writing again?
Maybe.
God damn it.
Just an eye roll.
What were you going to frame me for?
Lafayette chimes in. Probably something that'll correlate with the information that I gleaned about you. Frame you for a crime, get you in trouble, so on and so forth.
Something like that.
This wouldn't be the first time she's done it either.
So what? The goddess of lies just wants you to constantly frame people for crimes they didn't commit for chuckles?
You know, you're actually pretty much spot on, yes. Though, I mean, it was more than that, technically. Split up a few relationships, lose a few people some jobs, things of the like.
She sounds
Nothing.
like a bitch.
And Lafayette signs out, Don't worry, that's just like a fourth of what she's done.
Do you have some sort of list or something?
Lafayette just smirks. And you can see that she has her mask down currently. She has a sly smirk.
Ugh. I don't even see how that's possible for some of them.
Lafayette just signs out. I'm sure it's not all of it that I've gleaned. Just something that me and my connections have.
Had a nice midnight read about me then, did you?
Full page.
Hmm.
And I have to say, quite the history behind you.
Yes, well...
Here's the thing, though. While I do harbor resentment towards you, harboring with all these lies, this traitorous intent, she kind of like...
Unsurprising, go on.
Yeah, and she kind of reaches for her neck of that, something that I'm very familiar with. I don't know your full story on why you did it to begin with. I know of what you've done, but I don't know why you started it. And while my first instinct was to kill you outright, like no other targets that I've dealt with in my entire life, I had a second thought. She makes a hand motion that goes around to the entire group. This, I guess, so-called event, or so-called whatever you want to call it, I don't care what, is to basically help people redeem themselves. That's why all this started to begin with, to actually give the Isle Dwellers, or the... what were they called?
Bleakborn.
Bleakborn, yes. Bleakborn a chance to redeem themselves and come back home. Somewhere a little bit more comfortable. Now granted, that doesn't mean all of them, but a good portion of them at least. So, I look at you, in particular here, and ask, do you wish to redeem yourself for what you have done? Or would you rather face the consequences of everything you've done at once? Because I assure you, that will send you straight to the island. And trust me, those two, you don't want to go there.
Yes, I've heard. Well, suppose I don't have much to lose at this point.
Not much to lose, all to gain. Of course, it's entirely up to you. I don't have a control over your life. I don't decide what you do and don't do. And I'm sure, like I said earlier to Mishpa whenever we had a little talk, we all harbor our secrets.
Mm.
So whatever you decide is up to you. And then for comfort's sake, the individual that came after you is not going to bother you anymore. I made sure of that.
Hmm. Right. You know, I had started to find it a bit ironic that they somehow managed to find the most wide-eyed and innocent Bleakborn they could find, and then somehow roped me into it. But that's how things fall, isn't it? Sure, I'll try to be a little bit nicer. You have a list of everything that I've done wrong, don't you? Or at least everything that can be easily pulled up.
Things that can be traced easily, yes. Oh, I'm sure there's plenty more behind you.
Hmm.
But
I'm sure there is too. I don't know what you have, but
I find it cute that she called me wide-eyed and innocent when I stabbed her last night.
I was trying not to think about that. Can I be... You... There was no reason for you to bring that up. You could have just taken the compliment.
It was a compliment?
Well... For most people, I would think so. Never mind.
Lafayette
Point is...
Lafayette just gives a dismissive wave at Nani, like, don't worry about her.
The point is, you have a semi-completed record of everything I've ever done wrong, which I presume means you have a list of names. So, I suppose now is as good a time as... While we're traveling around, now is as good a time as any to see if I can make up for any of it.
We all begin somewhere.
So, like, do you genuinely want to do that? Because that's awesome if you do.
You'll have to give me some time to decide on that, but I'm willing to try.
Cool, you have 4 days.
But where are we going to be in 4 days that I'm good? Who do we have on that list that's 4 days away?
In Zelda.
Is there anyone in Zelda?
Let me pull out the list right quick, hang on.
The list.
Which in turn means Zylak needs to pull that out.
Yep. Just give me notes.
Let's just assume there's probably at the very least probably one in every town.
Oh, fuck.
At least one.
Oh, while you're scanning the list, Mishpa is going to break away because this conversation's making her uncomfortable, and she is going to start breaking down the camp and packing everything away.
Lafayette will actually branch away after a little bit.
Oh no, you gotta look at the list first.
Yeah, look
That's
at
not
the
a
list.
character
What the
thing.
fuck?
That's not a character thing. Let me go to the wagon at the very least to get my stuff and get away from here. Help.
I get it.
I just gotta wait for the DM to send me the thing.
Yep.
Delicious pretzels.
Man, I have had a craving for, like, one of those warm, big pretzels.
The big kind, like the carnival
Yeah,
kind.
the big salted kind with, like, butter on it. Oh, it's so good.
Mm.
When I worked at a movie theater, we had Cinnabon pretzels. They came with icing to dip it in.
Alright.
Welcome to the D&D experience, folks.
Clickety clackety.
This is it.
Okay, so continuing on while Mishpa got up and left, we'll go ahead and continue right there. Lafayette pulls out digs into her pouch, and pulls out a small folded note, and then hands it over to Breia, and then signs out, "This is where you can start then."
Bray, I'll take it and read it.
Yeah, we'll send it to you directly.
Also, really rude of you to hand it to her folded.
She'll unfold it beforehand.
No, you already said. She's got to sit it on her leg
I'll help
and
her
unfold it.
It's fine.
What's that? It's
Fine.
it's unfolded while you're handing it over? Reads.
God damn it. Get away. Shoo. Oh, fuck. Oh, shit.
Ooh, sounds juicy. Let's do it.
And then Lafayette's claw will tap at the name. That one will be a good starting point.
Alright, well, who could... Oh, god damn it. Yeah, that makes sense.
Hey, football head. Only 3 days and 16 hours before you die.
Well,
Alright.
I just felt like making a Hey Arnold reference there.
That's fair. Lafayette will just give a gentle pat on Breia's back and signs out. You got this. It won't be easy, but at least you can have a start somewhere.
You know, I
Potentially
find
this
it...
won't ruin anything.
Sorry, go ahead.
I lost my train of thought on what I was going to say, so go ahead.
Well, you're saying it's not going to be easy, but...
Oh, okay. It's not going to be easy, but if you're able to fix this one, you have a good path ahead of you, at the very least. And who knows? Miracles may happen. Hell, one happened to us last night.
Well, I suppose it was fortunate that someone happened to be around who could call in a favor from another god.
With a soft smile, Lafayette pulls up her mask and then stands up, and she's going to go ahead and start helping Mishpa dismantle everything else.
You know, it's quite funny how the two of us were meant to be the people helping those to redeem themselves. And now one of us needs redeeming ourselves.
You know, the crazy thing is, I don't think either of us actually needed redemption.
In the eyes of the people.
But if that's the standard we're going by, I'm not sure Breia's image is exactly ruined in the eyes of the people just yet.
Bray doing great for anyone who doesn't absolutely hate her.
Oh, I'm feeling great! Twitch.
So.
I have to take care of something right quick, so I will return here shortly.
We can take
Righto.
a 5-minute break.
It's gonna probably. I'm gonna request.
And we're back.
Hurrah.
So, you guys want to continue on the road?
Sure.
If there's anything else that needed to be talked about, if
Well,
not,
no,
then
wanna
I
head
guess
back
we're
to the
good.
I want to head back to the zombie-invested city.
Yeah, I want to go back there too. It's pretty cool.
Yeah,
I can
Let's
take
go.
it.
Come on.
Is this the last of us?
I can take them, all of them.
I
With
know
what?
burning hands.
Breia could take them all with one hand tied behind her. Oh.
Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. That's a little zesty even for me.
Session 3.
Oh.
Oh, sweetie, no.
Oh, honey. Okay. Anyway. You are able to continue on your trek towards Zelta. And during your travel, something catches your eye. You catch a glimpse of an abandoned campsite quite a ways away from the road. Tomas and Breia, you would know this campsite as a historic site where one of the clergies camped out during the Naga War. It's been preserved for all these years as a historic monument. But what's weird is that you can see a plume of smoke coming from it.
Is someone using the clergy campsite?
Is that not what a campsite is for?
Yes, most of them are, but this one is a historic monument. It's not usually used for its intended purpose. It's usually just a site that someone would stop at on their way to North Hollow.
What is it a monument of?
Well, you take this one, I'm not.
What?
What? Did I say something wrong?
Okay, go ahead, Tomas. Tell us what it's a monument of.
Well, it was a campsite that was frequently used by the clergymen during the Naga War.
During the Naga War, you say?
Yes.
I see. Mishpa is going to peek out of the wagon towards it, and then she's going to drop down onto the ground and start slithering towards the campsite.
Yep.
Hey,
Mishpa,
all
you
right.
need someone to go with you.
It's all right. I won't be long. I just want to take a look around.
I am following behind her.
With the cart, I assume?
I feel like I'm going to take the cart as far as I can, but eventually I will have to get out and follow behind her on foot.
Alright, the unnamed horse will wait for you.
We didn't name the fucking horse. We got so busy.
His name
hell is this?
Horse.
His name is Horse?
Hans.
Hans.
And to refresh your memory on what it looks like, it's a golden coated horse, golden coat with white mane and tail.
In other words, it sticks out a lot.
Yep. And it is a stallion.
Yes, what do Mishpa and I see?
Well, getting closer to the campsite. I need to change the music.
No.
Sure, it's fine.
Oh, good.
It's fine. It's not fine.
I believe that it should have been fine, but, you know, it was never going to happen.
Getting to the campsite, you see it is a bit of a wreck upon closer inspection. Like, from a distance, it looks pretty okay. You know, you would see some tents and unused supplies, but up close, it looks like it was kind of desecrated. Like, there's some tents that are not standing anymore, either burned down or, you know, weathered away. A lot of rotting clothes, weapons strewn about. Kind of looks like a small war was held here. But upon investigation, you actually find 2 children trying to snuff out a fire. An elf and a yuan-ti. You see the elf boy is batting at the fire with a blanket, and the yuan-ti is trying to prevent the blanket from burning.
Can't you guys just smell the history around here? I'm seeing a lot of environmental storytelling, if you ask me.
Mishpa is going to ignore. Mishpa is going to ignore Nani. She does glance around, curious why this place is such a wreck, but her major focus is on the children at the fire, and she starts to slither closer. You know, you really should have water on hand if you're going to light a fire.
They jump in surprise since they weren't expecting to be found, and stare up at you in a mixture of awe and terror.
Hello. What are the 2 of you doing out here? This doesn't seem like the kind of place where children ought to be living.
Yes, and what on earth happened here?
You see... you see the yuan-ti speak up first. Well, my name is Perrin. This is, Hedinar. And, we're junior archaeologists. And, they actually show these, sashes that they're wearing around them with junior scout badges.
Could I get their names one more time?
Perrin is the yuan-ti, and Hedinar is the elf.
Well,
Oh god, they're Eagle Scouts.
Well, who am I to question how they want to study the past? She uses produce flame.
Alright, hold on.
Is the
Go ahead.
Is the site? Does the site usually have like some sort of protection around it to stop people from coming into the actual campsite itself, or is it just like open?
It is open, but it is very much forbidden for people to actually come onto the site because it is a historic site.
All right. And why are you on the site? You should know that people are not allowed to come onto the site.
Well, you see Hedinar speak up. Well, we were very curious about the Naga War. And so we wanted to do some investigating.
It looks like you are also curious how flammable tents are.
That was an accident. We made a fire last night to keep ourselves warm, but,
So you've been here for a while then?
yeah, we kind of snuck away from home. Because
And
our parents said it was too expensive and dangerous to take me out on the road, especially since we wouldn't be allowed on the site due to it being protected by the Scholars Guild and inaccessible to civilians.
At that point, Lafayette just kind of crosses her arms and just gives a stern stare towards them.
But, we're no ordinary civilians. We're junior archaeologists! And he strikes a dramatic pose.
Yes, and usually archaeologists need to get some sort of permission before they start digging up a site, because otherwise that's seen as grave robbing.
even beyond that, archaeologists also tend to not do anything that would disturb the site, like starting a fire in the middle of it.
Hooray, junior archaeologists!
Also,
God
you
damn it.
happen to be talking to someone of the Scholars Guild.
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't see what the issue is here. Mishpa takes out a water skin and douses the fire in front of her. I am curious, though. Have you found anything out while you've been here?
Well, not yet. We just got here last night.
I
Where do
see.
you live?
Zelta?
Oh, you are kidding.
Perhaps
That's quite
if you
a
wanted
ways
to learn,
away.
if you wanted to learn more about this site in the Naga War, you probably should just stick to the books. That's where you're
Wait,
going to get.
did you get two little kids and you have parents that love you and care about you, and you just, I don't know, walked 4 or 5 days up to a campsite that you weren't allowed to go to because archaeology?
It was 2 days. And we have rations. And they pull out a couple ham and cheese sandwiches, a couple vines of grapes, and water skins full of juice.
Honestly, I'm surprised they still have them.
You know, I said before that if I wandered off by myself, I would probably die, but apparently not.
See, isn't this comforting, Breia?
Hmm.
Look, we can give you a ride back to Zelta. But promise us you won't do any amateur archaeology without some supervision next time.
But we didn't even get started yet.
Oh, you get started, all right. You started the fire over here. You started the fire over there. I'm about to start the fire over here.
Nani!
Okay, fine. I won't light the historical site of war and death on fire.
That's what most historical sites are.
Yes, unfortunately.
Oh, okay. You're gonna have to hold me back the next one.
Listen. They just got here, like they said, and they are junior archaeologists.
Oh my God.
I say that at the very least, they have adult supervision now. There's no harm in us taking a little look around now that we're already here.
Very well, but they can't stay on the main site.
Oh, why not? Who's gonna stop us?
The Scholars Guild.
I see.
Yes, and they're doing such a great job of it.
I mean, I don't see them here right now.
You're literally looking at him. It's me. I'm part of the Scholars Guild.
To be clear, aren't I as well?
Yes.
Well, yes, but you're not going to tell anyone about this, are you, Toblerone?
I mean, so am I, but I didn't see anything if you didn't.
That's right, you didn't see anything, otherwise this tent goes up in flames. Give me a reason,
right,
give me a reason!
I would just rather they didn't mess with the main site. They can look around elsewhere, around the site,
Fine.
Are there like?
But I'm
are there-
going to look around the main site.
Are there like postings of like history or whatever around here?
There is like a plaque outside of the site itself, but that's about it.
Come on, kids. Let's go check inside the tents and see if we can find a dead body.
Yeah!
There will be no dead bodies. It's already been searched.
Corpses, corpses, corpses.
Corpses!
Oh my god.
Well, you enjoy that, and Breia will follow Mishpa into the main site, leaving Thomas to deal with this.
I didn't realize I'd be dealing with 3 children today.
What's inside this tent?
So, anyone who is searching the main site, please give me an investigation check.
9.
Proficiency. Ooh.
Sorry, hearing the
7.
ooh twice was just too funny.
You're not searching the main site. You're searching the tents for corpses.
The tents are on the main site.
Yeah.
They did.
Do I get an assist from the junior archaeologists?
You get a +1 for each of them. That's it.
Yeah. So
If they were good archaeologists, you might get more, but they're +1.
So, Mishpa and Nani, you don't find much. I mean, you find some weapons that are mostly rusted and chipped. You find the tents, they're kind of degraded and broken. You find some staffs that have been broken. Just everything has been kind of muddled thanks to being left to the elements. But, Breia...
You see, kids, this is what happens when you leave your toys out in the rain. That's why you have to bring them inside. Otherwise, the rain will make them all, nasty, and you won't be able to play with them anymore. They'll break.
Oh. Meanwhile, Breia.
Yes.
You find something that has somehow not rotted from time, hidden underneath a collapsed tent. It is a leather-bound black journal with some form of lock on it.
Oh boy, patron number 2.
Yeah.
And you also see some writing on it. Though it's not in a language you understand.
Do I at least recognize what language it is, or is it just one it just is one I can't read, or is it like unrecognizable completely?
And before it's thieves' cant, and it just says "mind your own business."
It's like one of those teenage girls' journals with the locks on it.
It's
You can't keep out.
It's either that or just like fucking Lafayette was here, just scribbled in thieves' cant.
You actually don't recognize the language. It's not any language that has been recorded in Abyssia. Or it's some sort of dead language.
Well, this is interesting. It's completely unrecognizable to me.
What is it you found?
This locked book. There seems to be a title or something written on it, but I can't really tell what it says. These symbols don't look familiar to me at all.
I'm gonna take a closer look at the journal. Do I recognize the writing at all?
Yes. It's written in Naga.
That's my language, my people's language.
Is it?
And you actually know what it says.
And that is?
I'm sending it to you.
Okay.
Let me just find you. Boop.
He reads it. It actually is Warlock Patrons for Dummies.
So you pissed off the snake god. Well, have we got a new snake god for you?
Surprising number of snake gods.
Mishpa reaches down and traces a claw along it, and you see her squinting as it takes her a moment to sort of recall her reading lessons, as she says aloud, "The serpent climbs from down below. If someone finds us, blood will flow. A key not made from silver or gold, but a deep, dark secret being told."
So
it's an evil book.
it doesn't sound necessarily evil. Just
I'm sorry, a threatening book.
Did you happen to find any keys near where it was laying?
didn't you just read the book? The key is a deep, dark secret. So all we got to do is pour our hearts out, and the book will open to us.
All right then, Nani, you start.
Okay. Let's see. I know. I brought the blight shroom with me from the island to the mainland.
You burned it.
I did burn it.
Yeah, like 2 sessions ago. When Nani and Tomas talked.
Yeah, I said I did burn it. Like, I'm just saying, like, nobody else knew that I did that.
Oh, sorry. I thought you were trying to pull it out.
It does not open.
Well, that's fair. I already burned the damn thing anyways.
Well, it didn't say a fresh secret.
Okay, deeper and darker secrets. Ooh. One time when I was a little girl, I put on my mom's underwear to see what it was like. It didn't fit. She's a centaur.
Nothing happens.
Well, I don't know what they want from me. I'm kind of an open book here. Somebody else tell a deep, dark secret.
I mean, the biggest thing I had isn't really a secret anymore, so...
Well, maybe it still counts. Breia was a liar. That was a warlock contracted to the goddess of lies.
I'm afraid I don't have much in the ways of secrets myself.
Well, the most secretive one of us is Lafayette, and I don't think that she's up to opening up just yet.
She just also makes a hand motion to her throat and, like, hands, like, she can't speak.
True, but maybe the book knows sign language.
Middle finger to the book.
The book unlocks.
That's it. The key is a great big fuck you.
Well, this is all lovely. Can I make an Arcana check on the book to see if it is like literally cursed to have like a specific opening key phrase, or if it is like a standard key I'm looking for?
Sure, make an Arcana check. Okay. That's enough to say what it says on the tin is literally what you get. It does need a secret in order to open, but it seems to be wanting a secret that either nobody knows or a secret that someone would rather no one find out.
Hmm. So one of us would have to be, or somebody would have to be hiding something like that they want buried.
Well, I might have something, but it might not be good enough.
And you also might have to, and you also definitely have to say it out loud, so you might want to consider that.
I am. But, well, hopefully I can trust those that are present here with this.
Sure.
Even though it is on the island, Fallstar is a beautiful and safe place for people to live happy, peaceful lives. It is a place with homes built from ash and adobe, painted with sulfur-based paints. It is colorful, it is beautiful, it's peaceful. The people there are happy, despite having to live on the island. And we keep that secret from everybody else, lest they take away what little we have.
The book opens.
What?
Wow.
Oh, damn, alright.
Like I said, hopefully I can trust you guys with that.
You already trusted me with it. I don't plan on speaking that aloud to anyone else.
Well, go on and open your stupid book. What's inside?
Mishpa is going to reach out for the book, but she waits for Breia to offer it.
Breia will hand it to you.
Okay. Inside, written all in Naga, is writings from what could be assumed to be, well, a Naga, particularly a high priest of Ouroboros, as it has a lot of prayers to him, sermons, and a few entries on times during the war, how they had to hide and seclude themselves from the outside world lest they be hunted and massacred. Deeper inside the journal, there are tales of a grand temple to Ouroboros underneath Abyssia, wherein lies what the priest only calls the undeniable truth. What he means by it is not said, just that whatever is within is the greatest treasure to the Naga people, and a possible way for the Naga suffering to finally end. He goes on to tell about the pilgrimage to such a temple, before the last entry reads about the camp being found, and that he needs to hide this journal in hopes that someone sympathetic to the plight of the Naga will find it and help them. And the last page of the journal is a map of Abyssia, but let me reveal what you see.
She reads this all in silence for a while, but you all can tell that as she is reading it, she gets more and more elated, more excited. Her slitted eyes slowly start to round out as she gets near the end of it and starts nodding her head a bit. Yes, this could be it.
Could be what? What is it?
Most of it is recounting prayers to Ouroboros, but near the end here, he talks about a temple hidden somewhere in Abyssia. Even provides a map we might be able to use to find it, where it might contain something to help with the Naga's plight. Maybe a treasure or something that I could present as proof that we deserve to be let off the island.
Huh. Odd that something like that was in an Abyssian camp.
It was probably taken, but no one could read. Either the soldiers there couldn't read it, or they figured there was something in it that they needed to hide, and they didn't manage it before something happened.
She flips to the end and shows the book to Thomas, Breia, and Lafayette, the map at the end, and points to this area here. What is here?
Oh,
What
you're
part?
at... Oh. By the way, I just wanted to mention Thomas has not even stepped foot on the site. He is just
okay.
off towards the plaque, writing, like, a letter.
Mom, they are not doing what I've asked. Mother, they've desecrated the site, Mother.
Mom!
Mom, they're being bad.
They're being a negative influence to children.
Hey, we didn't start it for the record. Those little shits did, so I don't feel as bad.
Anyway, Mishpa asks, "What is here?"
Is there anything of any significance that any of us are aware of?
You see exactly what's on the map. It's tunnels and settlements and the temple located underneath Abyssia.
Underneath. But is there anything substantial in that final spot? Like, above ground?
No.
Or as far as we know, is that just empty?
It's just kind of empty.
So it's
Gotcha.
something underneath. Like, all this is underneath.
Yep.
It's a
Hooray!
tunnel.
Underdark.
It seems to be some sort of tunnel network. So that... Because looking at it, there's nothing over there. It's just kind of an empty area behind the mountains, but...
Then perhaps these larger dots are areas where we might be able to enter these tunnels. There's one not far from where Zelda is. It looks like we might be able to go there.
Lafayette signs out. Perhaps a small detour would be in order. But we still need to get to Zeltor first.
Yes,
Zelda.
yes, I do understand that, and I will. I would be happy to do that first, but if everyone is in agreement, I would be very, very grateful if we could at least take a look and see if we can find anything.
Lafayette will nod in agreement.
I'd be rather interested to see it myself.
I don't mind. Underground adventure. Bring on the basilisk.
Oh god, not again.
Are you that eager to turn into a statue, Nani?
Upon mentioning of that, actually, Lafayette will actually gently pat Mishpa right quick.
Mm-hmm. Yes?
Signs out, do you still have that poisoner's kit?
I believe I do, yes. Well,
I feel like... Have you mentioned it, though? I feel like I need to actually clarify this, because I swear
No.
I thought you mentioned it.
I have not mentioned it, and important to note, I don't have a poisoner's kit. I have proficiency with one, but I do
Retcon
not
that,
have
then.
a...
I apologize. Retcon
That's
that.
okay. Yeah.
Never mind, then. Continue.
If it is not too much trouble, do you think it would be alright if I held on to this journal for right now?
Yes, I suppose so. Though, Thinking about it now, the fact that the Scholars Guild has absolutely no knowledge of, well, any Naga symbols whatsoever, it would have come up at some point. I imagine they must have been erased somehow, but I wonder why.
Because the people that run Abyssia are prejudiced and dickweeds.
Well, yes, I know that, but I mean, there have been dictators and other things before, and other evil types before. It's not like we erased entire languages. Most of that history is kept.
Well, have they also attempted to erase entire races in the past?
A few times, yes. Not all on this continent. of course.
Holy shit! Who?
Well, I mean,
Give
let's
me
see.
names, damn it!
Let's see. What was it? It's like,
what has happened? Like, I know that, like, the kobolds got some shit happened to the kobolds, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then some shit happened to the goblins. It was like regular slavery, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh, it was
that
just average run-of-the-mill slavery, you know.
Basically,
Well,
basically all goblinoids were put into slavery, as were orcs, and the kobolds were being eradicated.
There was, in the past, there are a few instances of that, actually. I believe it was...
What the fuck does Abyssia have against people with green skin and scales?
You know, it is weirdly specific now that you mention it.
Especially the little one.
Field trip over there.
We're learning an important thing, and also I'm telling them about genocide.
We're learning!
The
History!
kobold one or the goblin one?
The kobold one, the Puppet King thing.
Yes, I remember the Puppet King. Give me a second.
The Puppet King.
And yeah, I am going to head over finally.
Did he have a sock puppet that he would yell at his minions with?
Boy.
Perhaps things have cooled off since the war. I mean, the Prince was quite welcoming and accommodating to me, and the people of North Hollow didn't even seem to bat an eye when I was wandering about.
They were told you were coming. And I imagine they were told to behave. That probably won't be the case going forward.
I see. You kind of see Mishpa's face sink a bit. Like, she very obviously gets depressed when you say that.
One thing that will become very clear to you as we continue to travel is that despite how much less scarce things are here, the people in Abyssia are deeply cruel and greedy. Not all of them, of course, but it is a pretty common trait amongst people. Even when there is enough to go around.
By the way, Nani, the Puppet King was over 1,000 years ago. You don't need to worry about him. He is long dead.
I wasn't worried about him. I was making fun of him.
Fair enough.
I see. Well, I think I've seen all I wanted to see here. And we found something very valuable, very interesting. I think we can go now.
What did you find?
Just some light reading is all.
May I see it? This would be important for the Scholars Guild.
You wouldn't understand it if you could. Even if you got a hold of it, it wouldn't matter.
Try me.
Do you read Naga?
Lafayette then signs out, "You have been tried."
Fine. May I at least see it?
No, it's mine.
Hey, it's hers. What can I say?
Just the cover. I'd like to see the book.
She flashes it at him before she pulls it back. There you go. Now let's go.
Lafayette just gives this look to Mishpa like, "Come on, give him a break."
Kind of rolls her eyes a little bit.
No, don't let him have it. I was enjoying having a thing over him.
She holds it out so that he can see it.
See. He doesn't, like, open it, but he does take a look around it, taking note of, like, the outside of the outer cover of the book. I see. Very interesting. They didn't discover this before. And where did you find this?
Breia
That
was the
tent
one
over
who
there.
found it.
It's strange. They never looked under one of the tents, but
That's what I thought.
would it be
Lafayette.
all right if I transcribed this book for the Scholars Guild?
I can actually think of a few reasons that that's not best. After all, do you recognize any of these symbols? Any at all?
Well, no, but I can certainly attempt to reconstruct them so that we could have a sort of translator.
But think for a moment. The Scholars Guild, there's no way that they've never found any Naga writing, and yet none of us have ever seen Naga symbols before. Doesn't that strike you as odd?
It is, actually. Yes. Do I
And-
remember any Scholars Guild writings that had Naga?
No, not at all.
Not a single piece of writing that I've seen from the Scholars Guild ever had Naga.
Precisely. Which is why I think it might be best, since we have someone who can read it, to keep it away from them. Typically, if languages like that are completely illegible to the people who call themselves historians, something must have happened to all that writing.
I'll have to write another letter asking if they have anything like it, at least.
Don't mention that we've found anything.
I won't mention it, but I will ask about it.
Lafayette looks around. Where are the two quote unquote junior archaeologists? Where have they gone?
They
If you say they started another fire.
no, they're actually a little bit of ways from the main camp area, and they seem to be crouching down.
Wonder if they found anything interesting.
Lafayette will hold up a finger and she's going to go approach them right quick. She's going to sneak up on them. Just to see if she can't glean anything.
Since you are a little bit taller than them being like 8 years old and they're not very big, you actually see that they're brushing off something that looks like bones.
Thanks, hey.
Just
thinking to myself right quick. Lafayette's going to kind of creep closer and just kind of inspect on the bones they discovered. Is there like a specific race of it?
You can't tell for sure yet, but they seem to be digging pretty fervently.
Lafayette will now proceed to jump scare the shit out of them by placing hands on both of their shoulders. And then she will basically give the look of, what are you doing? Just looking at them with a almost disappointed look, and then looking at the bones, and then back at them.
Well, hold on.
Hold on, I have to think of an excuse.
Perrin points to Hedinar. He wanted to find Nagabos, so
Then slow head tilt towards the other one.
the elf kind of blushes. I mean, yeah, I was hoping to find, Naga bones, because it'd be pretty cool.
Lafayette shakes her head and then snaps her fingers and points away, essentially saying, "Go home."
Aww.
We're gonna make them walk 2 full days back.
Yep. I mean, Lafayette will, unless someone else has a heart to take care of him.
And they start going away,
mean, I
slapping their
offered.
shoulders and hanging their heads.
Breia will walk up at this point and just, oh, look, they did find a corpse. Interesting.
Way to go.
What?
What?
Is it a
Lafayette.
human corpse, or is it...
Do you want to excavate a bit?
Well,
I mean,
you
it-
can't exactly undo damage that's done, can you?
Also,
We're not
kids, stop
technically on the main
walking.
side. We're not technically on the main side, so I'm fine with it.
Lafayette just exhales and just whistles. She can still do that, I believe.
Key?
So she'll whistle towards the kids and then make a head motion back towards it.
Yay! And they rush back and start to dig.
Yay, death.
Dig, 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 dig. Diggy, diggy.
And just
Neither
as a
of them are
precaution-
dwarves.
Yeah. I don't need to be dwarves if you want to dig a hole. You just gotta believe.
You're right.
Rock and stones. Or something in that aspect. Lafayette's gonna be kind of on guard, though. She's going to... Is there, like, a decent, like, lookout spot nearby?
There is a large stone.
That was a perfectly timed belch, by the way. Rock and stone, or some shit.
I'm sorry, it slips out sometimes.
How old is the body?
Well, it's a skeleton, so...
Lafayette's going to gently nudge Mishpa and point up to the rock.
She'll glance over towards it for a moment.
Well, it's not recent, at least.
And after a bit more excavating and brushing off, the kids reveal, as they take a step back, a complete skeleton of a naga. But this isn't a normal naga. This one is bigger. Much, much bigger.
You said you were the runt of your clan, didn't you?
I did, yes, but while I am smaller than pretty much everyone else in my clan, no one there is as big as this.
What does it mean?
I need to write another letter to the Scholars Guild.
Thinking back, was there anything like this mentioned to Mishpa throughout her life in any of the lessons that she was given?
You were told in passing about predecessors to your people. Them basically being the true Naga. Things like guardian Nagas, spirit Nagas, moon Nagas. Basically gargantuan snakes with various abilities and magic capabilities even.
She kind of muses on this for a moment before she examines the bones again. There was mention when I was much younger of predecessors to my people, essentially ancestors of the Naga as we are now, powerful guardians that were usually used to, or were usually tasked with guarding great secrets or powerful treasures. But this was long, long before before my clan, before my parents or my grandparents, or probably even a few more generations besides. What this is doing here, in such a shallow grave, I do not know.
Just yeah, actually, from the depth down that this is buried, the Naga War was quite a while ago, right?
The Naga War was 100 years ago, so why this is so close to the surface is baffling.
100 years would have put this much further underground, yes.
Maybe these ancient Naga are still alive and were helping out during the Naga War, and they're now in hiding in those underground tunnels that you guys don't know about.
Well, yes, that makes sense, doesn't it?
Or didn't know about. So, hooray! There's probably still Naga on the mainland.
What tunnels?
Well,
Oh, you
I
went
need you to... Before we start talking, I do need you to just re-seal that agreement that you're not going to actually mention any of this to the guild.
I was in the middle of writing a letter about the Naga skeleton, but I was only going to ask if they had any writings that had mentioned it.
Well, I'm going to ask you to just don't write them at all. That would be great. Because
How about you just don't?
how about you just, like, you don't see me writing any letters.
Well, yes,
Mishpa
but we don't have
is
to be the exact same.
Mishpa is going to slither over towards Thomas, and she lowers her head down so that she is more on your level. The contents of this book are probably very important to my people. Would you please consider not telling anyone about this, at least for now, Thomas?
I had already said I was not going to mention anything about the book.
I'm asking as a personal promise to me.
I promise. I will not mention anything about the book to the Scholars Guild.
Thank you. That means a great deal to me. I'm going to take another quick look at the skeleton. Is there anything on it that survived from when it was killed? Weapons, armor, any sort of personal effects it had on it?
No, you do not see anything of the sort.
Okay. So nothing that would really give us a solid idea of like a date or anything.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, no, Thomas does, like, fold up the paper he was writing in and just stuffs it in his pocket.
Okay.
I suppose we should head back. You all go ahead for a moment. I need to reseal this grave before I go.
Right. Yeah, let's give her a moment.
Of course.
Mishpa will spend some time carefully pushing dirt back over the skeleton and doing her best to rebury it, whispering a few things to herself in Naga as she does so.
Mm-hmm. So, the Naga
And,
is soon reburied.
And as it is finished, she slithers back a little bit, takes a look at the grave, and puts her fists together with her knuckles touching, and whispers gently, "May his jaws never find you." And she will turn and start to slither off.
Mm-hmm.
You'll feel a sudden weight on your tail as you begin to slither away. Because Lafayette never left the rock; she kept watch.
Catching another ride, Lafayette?
Thumbs up.
If you keep doing that, I'm going to start thinking that you like it.
She just like lowers the mask, and you see just the smuggiest of grins.
She grins back. Lucky you. I like it too.
Damn, okay.
Let's go.
Nani's around the corner just writing furiously.
Just, like, hiding around one of the trees.
Oh, great. Now there's a fourth.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, great. I'm gonna run out of pen after this.
Great, great. Now it's a love square.
Damn.
Love square.
Describe the square for us. What's the square?
Yes, please elaborate further.
Well, actually, honestly, it's more like, how do I put this? Like a letter P.
What the hell do you mean? It's like the letter P.
Well, you see, we got the love triangle between you, Tomas, and Mishpa, but then just like branching off from Mishpa is this one strand that's just going off to Lafayette over here.
All right. You know what?
So it's shaped like a letter P.
You are a very interesting person.
Thank you. I think you are very interesting as well. I haven't met a lot of people with one arm.
Wow.
I am not in any condition to get away with saying the things I want to say right now.
You just feel like a pat on your arm from Lafayette, and she just hands you a dagger. It's like, okay, you can stab her once, but I need that back.
I mean, it would make us even.
It would, yes.
It would make us even. Like, do you want to stab me? Just don't stab me in the heart.
How many good person points do I lose if I stab her?
This one's a freebie.
Yeah, I was gonna say this one's a freebie.
I stab her in the leg in the exact same spot she stabbed me in my leg.
I actually stabbed you in the side.
Oh, you stabbed me in the side? Wherever I was stabbed, you get stabbed in the exact same spot.
Oh, good, you missed my spine. That's impressive. It's very thin down there. Well, actually, not anymore. I seem to be developing the gut after you force-fed me ham. I should seal this wound.
What's your dex modifier, Breia?
Mine?
Yes, yours.
2.
Okay, you suffer 6 points of damage, Nani.
I'm just going to seal this wound now. Nani uses cure wounds.
Wow.
Lafayette.
That was really fun. And no good person points lost. Incredible.
Lafayette will sign out. Who knows? Follow my footsteps and you might be able to do that more often.
Honestly, you make it sound rather appealing.
We even?
We do not give stabbings as rewards.
Maybe not for you. I give stabbings because I want to.
Oh, Tom, you're so boring.
I mean, it wasn't that bad, but you were a little bit shaky upon entry. I'd say it's a 6 out of 10 stabbing.
Literally, it's a D4.
The stabbing.
This is the max that weapon could have rolled.
I know, but she is critiquing your technique, and just because you're a beginner does not give you any leeway. She has stabbed a lot of things.
I hit a really good point, but I did it really badly.
Don't worry, you just need to work on your technique a little bit.
Yeah. Here's a stabbing tip for you. If you really want to kill somebody, go for the armpit.
What?
You have vital arteries in your armpit. So if you stab somebody in the armpit, they're going to bleed to death.
Oh. Well, that'll be useful information for later.
You're welcome. Are we even now?
Yes, I think so.
Hooray! Stabbing friendship.
I don't like this.
And that, quite frankly, is my main motivation for doing
it. Jesus Christ. Is this how, the friendship was with, Breia and Tomas the entire time?
They were not friends.
Okay.
They knew each other, and she was mean to him.
You knew each other, you tolerated each other to an extent.
We could be in the same room together without killing each other.
Understandable.
But she thinks that he is a boring dud of a person.
Don't worry, Thomas. You'll balance me out. We can hang out more.
I literally can't leave you alone, so that's...
So it works out!
Lafayette just hops off of, Mishpa's tail and just walks by.
If you take lessons... if you take lessons from her, you'll at least be somewhat interesting.
I have some... Look, just read this and tell me what you think, and I'm going to hand her the folded up piece of paper.
Right, sure.
As they're walking away, Mishpa is going to lean down towards Lafayette. So, shall we make a bet on how long before Nani stabs him?
Lafayette does a hard pause and thinks for a second. I give her a week.
I'll give her 11 minutes.
Good reference.
I understood that reference.
I love that reference.
So yeah, I guess we're heading back now.
After they read the letter, yeah. Lafayette gives a pat to Thomas's back as she walks by.
It'll do. They'll be expecting reports from you. I suppose I should write something as well.
Also, are you taking the kids with you?
Yes.
Okay.
We are
mentioned
not
you
making
to-
them march all the way home.
I mean, but why not?
I haven't mentioned you. So you don't have to if you don't want to, but it will be a pretty big discovery.
They know I'm with you.
Shit, you're right. I kind of forgot about that. In the grand scheme of things.
Right.
But yes, I'll make sure. I'll be sure to give this to a pet parcel.
Okay.
You see Breia's face twist up in a "you just said something wrong and I want to snap it. I want to hit you with another one, but I've hit you with like 6 and I can't do that."
I've hit you with like 7. I can't keep going. I'm gonna run out.
If I were to say more, I would destroy you. Literally,
Minor grammar mistake. I
Wait, what did I say? I said I'd give this to a pet parcel.
that's not what they're called.
Parcel pet.
There you go.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
That's such a petty thing to get pissed about. But fuck, is it funny?
But yeah,
It will always be funny.
you truly see like Breia's like the corner of her mouth wiggle up into a smile for a second, then drop again, and then she just walks away.
Just be happy.
He's had enough.
So yeah, that is going to be my second pet, parcel pet.
Okay. So.
Later on, Breia would also write a note to the Scholars Guild.
Mm-hmm. You guys all get back on the cart. Woo! Unnamed horse is waiting for you.
What color is the horse? It was like kind of gold.
Yeah.
I'm gonna name it Sunshine.
Don't name
God,
it.
no.
Nani,
Wait,
do not
what?
name it. You don't want to get attached to it.
What do you think's going to happen to the horse?
We just drove out of a zombie apocalypse. Something could happen to the horse at any moment.
I mean, you're right, but also, like, that seems really mean to the horse somehow.
Mishpa looks over at the horse. Horse, do you mind not having a name?
Thomas, you can talk to animals, right? Ask it what its name is.
See, it loves it.
I mean, well, yes, I can.
I can too.
Oh wait, can I? Do I have speak with animal? No,
I know-
do not have speak with animal.
The last time that we
Technically, I
had
can-
that event happen was with Nani having casted the Speak with Animal spell and was translated for you at the time.
Guess who still has it prepared?
Yeah, I can only speak with my bats.
Don't worry, I'll ask the horse its name.
Oh, God.
Oh, Speak
no.
with animals.
That's how she casts the spell. She just says its name.
I'm just going to like
the
you just
somatic component is just announcing the spell.
Well, she also signs it in sign language. Because somatic component.
Or the vocal component. Shut up. I know what I mean.
Okay. Hello, horse.
Hi.
Oh no, it's Temmie.
My name is. No, it's not a loud wheeze and a ha. My name is Nani.
Hi, Nani.
What's your name?
I don't know. You want to give me one?
I'd love to give you a name.
We're not calling it sunshine. We're not calling it sunshine. It's too bright. It's too cheery.
So,
Okay.
Lafayette signs out. What about Goldberry?
What about Acorn?
It's a fucking golden horse!
Yeah, you never you never heard the story about the golden acorn?
I'm gonna fucking choke slam you.
You're right. Let's call. I got it. I know something that's golden, a type of apple. So let's call it delicious.
That feels unethical somehow. I can't put my finger on it right now.
What
be
do you
right back. I need
think
to go
of
to
the
the
name
bathroom.
delicious?
I'll be right back. I need to go to the bathroom.
So, I got suggested that we give it a perfectly normal and reasonable name, like Kyle. So,
Looks like more of a Frank to me.
what do you think of the name Kyle?
Oh, I'm okay with it. Whatever name you want to give me.
Why are you talking like that?
Why me?
This is my normal voice. What do you?
That might just be his voice. I mean, I can't hear it, but
No, it's not his voice. He's like talking with like a little bit of a slur, like as if, like, are you high or something?
can I make a check on an investigation check on the hay to see if it's actually also laced with drugs? If they got this also, if they got this cart from the drug cartel somehow.
Go ahead. It's not
I
laced
wouldn't
with
know.
drugs. You don't know.
I don't know.
Lafayette
Guys.
takes like a bundle of just a bundle of hay and just lights it and starts puffing it.
Ow.
Getting it? Are you getting anything off of that? I honestly could use it at this point.
I don't know, am I?
No. You just get the smell of burning hay.
She just keeps puffing, nods and hands it over.
Why is she passing? She's passing the boof.
Boof. Yeah, I'm passing the boofless boof.
hitting the puff pass on fucking hay.
We're going down, baby, ocean and a rainbow.
Breia does take a hit of it and like, you know, I could almost convince myself.
So this is what they call Kush.
It really
It's
isn't.
fairy tales
It really
and stories.
It really isn't.
How good can it be? It's in the dollar store.
How unreasonable would it be for me to have had a little bit of weed this whole time?
Don't worry about it. Anyway, let's progress. We need to
You're
figure out a
rich.
name.
You can have weed whenever you want.
I was gonna say, by any chance, would I happen to have weed from the last party that I went to, where I went and I never smoked it because I'm a prude when I'm at parties?
Oh my god, you have a drug dealer right here. I can literally go in there and get some.
Hey, oh!
Okay, Kyle or Frank? Everybody in favor of Kyle?
I'll vote for Kyle.
And everybody in favor of Frank?
Mishpa raises her hand.
Lafayette has not taken her hand down.
What the fuck?
Okay, so that's 2 for each. Thomas, which one do you like more?
You said Kevin or Frank?
Kyle or Frank?
Kyle or Frank?
God, the disappointment, you can feel it.
If I make a decision on one of those two, do we get to leave faster?
Yes. Lafayette rapidly nods.
I think so, yes.
Frank.
Yes.
You got it. Okay, your name is Frank Sinatra.
Wow, that's really a reference that I don't understand because it doesn't exist in this universe.
Lafayette's going to lean in real close to Thomas and just take hold of the reins and just shakes it like, drive, drive, drive. Leave her there. Drive.
Okay, we're going. And he starts to walk.
Bye, Nani. Bye, Nani.
Is there some sort of like alcohol in here or something? Like, what's happening?
You can't escape me. Turns into it.
How do you run anyway? Whenever you're like in your normal form, I have to know.
I mentioned this in like I think it was session 2.
Mm-hmm.
She skips.
Wow, I hate that. Fucking floor it.
Skippity scuppity skippity scuppity.
In answer to your question about alcohol, Mishpa kind of looks at you, Breia, and goes, "Well, I could spit some poison into a bottle of water. Would that work? It'd lay you out just as quickly."
Well, I tend to like to survive my nights, thank you.
My poison isn't good enough to kill anything, and she looks kind of mortified when she says that.
Oh. Is that generally considered bad amongst your people?
Most Naga do have a poisonous bite, yes, and some of the venom can be very, very powerful, to the point where it can paralyze things completely and utterly. But mine has never been more powerful than maybe to give some irritation or maybe a mild stomachache now and then.
Oh.
I told you.
Well, I'm sure there's some use for that too.
Lafayette looks over and just gives a slow nod.
Well, you would know, wouldn't you?
Eyebrow waggle.
Jeez, for someone who does not talk, you are extremely sassy.
She then sends out, imagine if I actually had my voice.
So anyways, an axe
One
beak
shudders to think.
An axe beak is running alongside the cart now.
Oh, dinner.
I mean, I say we let her keep running alongside for a little while. Let her get her steps in.
It's like a hamster on a wheel.
So, after about 2 more days on the road, finally, after all this time, you come to the sleepy village of Zelta.
Hooray!
So is there a legend related to this place?
Shut up.
Fucking.
You will learn it in time. Sit.
The Legend of Zelda.
Yes, Mishpa's Awakening.
The Lelta of Zelta.
Zelda of Zelda.
I hate it here.
At this
And
point,
this-
I don't blame you.
And this is where we're going to end today's session.
Fine.
Fine, if you say so.
Man, we spent a lot of our time just sticking around.
Gee, I wonder why. I think the problem is we all think we're funny.
Are we?
I'm hilarious.
I mean,
See,
I
there
know
you
for
go.
a fact I'm funny.
Hey, it makes me laugh.